Hey, this is Scott. I've had some people asking me about how I do my yarn dyeing process. I cheat a lot, but it works. I've always had success, so I'm just gonna show you what we're gonna do. So here's what you need. You're gonna need, of course, some yarn. I like to use something that's at least 75% wool, and I like smart wool so you can wash it and dry it. So this is 75% wool, 25% nylon. That's just what I'm using today. You need some dyes. I like using these acid dyes by Jacquard or Jacquard, or I don't know how you say it, but I got the basic kit here on Amazon, and that comes with citric acid and the dyes. You need whatever colors you need of dyes. From the way I do it, you're gonna need some kind of stretch type or something like that, just some kind of saran wrap that you can wrap it up in once you get it all done. I like gloves because this stuff makes your hands a mess. And then whatever you want to put your dye into, I like using these little like ketchup bottle thingies because I like squirting, making patterns and things like that. So that's how I do it. But so here's the process. It's very easy. I think it's easy anyway. I hope you think it's easy too. First thing you do is you're going to take your yarn and you're going to soak it in some water that has citric acid. You could also use vinegar. I think a half cup of vinegar or something. I use citric acid, and I have this one open already, so I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to steal my wife's bowl here. Like a tablespoon. I don't really measure it too tight. I'm not all that worried about it. So there, nice fat tablespoon. Like I said, this is the doesn't follow the rules version. I just get that water in there and get the citric acid so it goes away. Again, that's like a tablespoon, and I just fill it up with enough water that I can get the yarn wet. So then I'm going to grab the yarn here and just throw it in the water, push it in there a little bit. And I'm just going to let that sit and soak because what we want is the citric acid to get in the yarn, and that's what holds the dye in there. So far so easy. That's it. I'm going to let that sit for like 10 minutes until everything just gets real soaked in, and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. It has not actually been 10 minutes, but then I got thinking, why not just show you the next part while that's soaking? So I'll show you the next part. I do like to wear gloves for this part because this stuff is very, I don't know, it gets all over everything if you're not careful. So we're gonna make some colors. I'm going fishing this weekend, so I was thinking I'm probably gonna make like a Nemo fish because I like to like make designs out of the yarn and then see what it turns into when I make it into a sock. So anybody that's seen any of my socks before, they know I start with something that's a picture and then I turn it into something. So I'm gonna make some orange here, which is of course red and yellow. So I'm gonna do this over the sink because I don't like getting this stuff all over. It is very, very all over. So I'm just going to take out just a little bit. I don't know how much I need. I do not measure this stuff. I put it in there and I make it look right. So I'll put in a little bit of yellow and I'll put in a little bit of red. Is this red? That's black. There's red. Put in some red and then I add a little bit of water to it and see if it looks like what I want it to look like. There's measurements that you're supposed to do, but like I said, I told you at the beginning, this is I like to cheat and do it an easy way method. So I just put some water in there and get it to where I like it. That is not orange at all. So we need lots more yellow. I don't know if that's going to get orange. That was a lot of red in there. I'm just dumping some out to see what it looks like. Oh no, that's not orange. So I'm going to dump a lot of that out and try again because that's a whole lot of red. So use less red, just so you know. A lot more yellow, a lot less red. Here we go. Let's try this again. Look at that. I'm wasteful, sorry. Funnel might be a good idea for next time. Live and learn, right? So here we go. Just looking orangey. We're getting closer. Yeah, that looks kind of Nemo orange. It's pretty intense. There, I'm looking at that. I'm thinking, that's kind of a Nemo orange. Nice and intense. I'm going with it. Cool. So that's how you make that. That's how I do it. Now I could probably water that down a little bit, but I was a dummy that put too much red in there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it like that. It'll be fine. Because it's not gonna look like Nemo at the end anyway. That's just my inspiration. Because fishing, if my dad watches this, he's gonna be like, heck yeah, we're fishing. Because he's who I'm going with. So then you shake it up real good. And make sure you get all like bumps out of it. And it doesn't matter if you don't, because they add some coolness to it too. Like if you end up, I've done that before too, where you take this dye and just sprinkle a little on top, and then get it wet and just watch it soak through and see what happens. I've done that with snow and ice before. It's fun. So I think it's been like right around 10 minutes, but we'll go ahead and keep setting up here. I don't need any of this stuff anymore. I might use some of these colors in my fish. But then what you're gonna do is lay out some saran wrap. I'll do 2 pieces. He might be a fat fish, I'm not sure. So what have we done so far? We've soaked some yarn and we've did a wing it job on some color. So far it's not rocket science, and it never becomes rocket science. All right, so my yarn, I did wait a couple minutes, so we're gonna go with it. This has been in there for like, I don't know, about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna squeeze it out now so that it still has some moisture in there. So like, I mean, if I squeeze it some more, it'll still go. So it's just gonna get it like kinda dryish, but not completely dry, because that citric acid in there is what's gonna make it be awesome. Okay, now the next part is just, this is where I have some fun with it. You can lay it down on this plastic wrap and just squirt it with whatever or do whatever, but this is where I have some fun. I'm gonna make a fish. Maybe kind of a fish. There's his little tail, and go like this, give him a little body. I don't know, maybe. Here, maybe we give him a fin. Make him fatter. Something like that. Yeah, that's a fish. A little fin going up there. Again, it doesn't matter, because once you take this back apart, it's not gonna look like that at all anyway. I think that looks very fish-like to me. We're going with it. Okay, so now to make him all Nemo-y and cool, I'm just wiping that off so that dye doesn't get crazy. What's Nemo look like? He's like just stripy and orange, I think. Yeah. So here, an orange stripe. I'm gonna leave him an eyeball hole here. He's a little more red than orange. Here's one thing you want to know though, is that this will not go all the way through the bottom. You see how it's still white? If you want it to go through the bottom, you just poke on it a little bit, or you can shove it in there and squeeze. It's gonna be the best fish ever. Now if you look here, we got it closer to the bottom. But you know what? When you don't have it on the bottom, see that? That's just gonna make a new hue in your sock or whatever it is that you're making. It's gonna look cool, because it's gonna be like a whole other hue. And then I think he has like a white area, and then we're gonna go back in here and give him some more orange, right? He's orange and white back and forth. Something like that. Give him some orange, give him some white. Push it down, squish it in. Whoops, we got a little white on the orange. Sloppy, sloppy. Push it in there. Yeah, we're getting close to the bottom. Now you see how much I'm putting on there? It's okay. It doesn't matter if it's real wet, because when it gets in the microwave, this dye is going to set in there. It's going to be awesome. There we go. Now I used like half that bottle already. I'm gonna keep going. This did turn out like a cool orange. Give him a bunch more. I don't know, he's looking pretty cool. There we go. I'm gonna do some black in there. Just give him some eyeballs. I think I have black. Is that black? That looks black. I think that's black. If it's not black, he's gonna have something different for an eye. We're going with this black. Give him an eyeball. Yeah, that's cool. And then let's give him a fin. Woo-hoo. As you can see, this is a very technical process. I'll try to push that black all the way through. The neat thing is that when you mix colors, I did some rainbow socks. If you look at me on Facebook, I did some rainbow socks, and all the colors bled together, you know, because primaries they'll turn into these, like the orange is kind of a secondary color. Maybe that's what it's called. Sorry, art people. Let me give him a little space here between. All right, I don't want this tutorial to get to be forever, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it after this. I'm just giving him space in between his. There, I think he's cool. I'm gonna make him smile. He wants to smile. Yay. Happy fish. That looks very Nemo-esque to me. All right, so now the next thing you gotta do is, so for all practical purposes, I'm done with this. I'm gonna just wrap it up now and put it in the microwave. So I wanna look at the bottom here and just double check. Yeah, it's going through the bottom a lot of places, so that's good enough. And it doesn't matter if it gets a little messy or not. I'm just going to take this, wrap it, and I'm just kind of wrapping it in with itself. And you're gonna be like, oh no, all the color's gonna bleed together. It's not. It's not. There. So that's all I did was I just wrapped this up, and now it's just a log full of fish. And now I'm gonna stick it in the microwave, but I don't want my wife yelling at me, so I'm gonna do it this way. Throw it in the microwave. Just throw it in there wrapped up for 12 minutes. And I'm gonna let that thing cook for 12 minutes, and it's gonna stink like a sheep in here. And my whole family's gonna be like, you're making socks again? I'm like, yep. So I will see you at the end of that timer to show you the ending. All right, we are down to 12 seconds here on our thing. It's all puffy because it's all like baking in there. So that's gonna be hot, just so you know. I like challenging nature, so I just grab. So I'm gonna throw it right in there. I'll do this later because I don't want to break that, you know, by making it cold and hot and all that other stuff. So I'm just gonna start hitting it with some cold water. And you'll see all this dye is all locked in here now. Well, it should be, unless this is not, and then that's not good. So, yep, that's hot. Very hot. There you go. Just start getting it cool. That's the goal now. So now look, see how that water's coming out clear. That's good. I don't care about the fish anymore. All I care about is the yarn now. The fish was just for fun. All right, so watch. Because of that citric acid, when we look at this, you see there? There's like hardly any color coming out of that. And what you do is if you get just a little bit of color, that's no big deal. You just squeeze it until there's none left. But look, already, there's nothing. That's in the yarn now. It's locked in. So I just for fun, I do squeeze it out and make sure that all that's out of there. But it is. So that's how you know if you did it right, is when you go to bring it out, it's clear in there, clear water. And then you know you got it. And that's not coming out. You can wash it in the washer, do whatever you want with it. So there, we're to the end pretty much here. Let me see if I can get a hold of it and make it pretty again. Yeah, so we'll just get it, and there we go. So now, check this out. All the yarn places and the dyers and things like that want you to see it at its best. So that hot mess, now when I get it, I've got all this neat coloring going on, but it's kind of messy. You can shake it out, twist it back up, and then you know, you can twist it back into whatever, however you like to, and find its best look. And they've got some nifty looking yarn. And I just did that fast because of the video and all, but once I take this back apart, what I'll do is I'm just going to let it sit outside and dry for a bit, and then I'll wind it up and I'll make a sock out of it, and I'll probably show you what that looks like then afterwards. I'll just attach it to this, but there you go. There's a whole nifty looking dyed yarn that I made into a fish, and now we'll see what it looks like as it becomes a sock. So that's it. I'm going to take this outside. I'm going to let it dry. Once it's completely dry, I'm going to put it up, spin it up, and make a sock out of it. So we'll see you at sock time. I didn't bring my camera person with me today, but today is tomorrow now and the yarn is dry. So I went ahead and spun it up onto a roll, and now I'm starting to make a sock out of it. I just wanted to show you the progress so far. That's just my weight. Ooh, it's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna spin it up the rest of the way and see what we get. Yes, it is spinning up very cool. Just finished up with the sock, the first one anyway. I didn't do both of them yet, but I did the first one. I just wanted to show you what we ended up looking like here at the end of it all. So that's about a calf-high sock. I don't know if it's easy to tell by the way I'm showing it, but there you go. That's what our little Nemo sock experiment turned into with the dyeing of the white yarn. So that can go in the dryer or the washer or whatever, and that dye's not coming out of it. I hope you learned something today. Have a great one.